Welcome again. Kinitrology, the study of incentives, intentions. We incorporate incentives in many other fields. Why not have it as a field in itself? Kinitrology, the kini part, meaning incentives in Greek. I thought Greek because um, the Bible was first published in Greek and then Latin. So that's why I did that. So today, um, I'm not sure how long I'll go here because I'm not sure how good I'm at unpacking what I'm supposed to unpack here because um, it's quite late. I had um, a few hours um, to bed earlier, and I might be still a bit weary, but I'm having a first and second sleep the way they used to sleep in Victorian era and Middle Ages and beyond was. It's pretty hard to sleep sometimes 14 hours a day because the sun goes down, you can't do much. Candles are very expensive, and so there you go. I have a first and second sleep thing happening at this hour. So, um, negativity. And as I'm talking, I'm not sure what the title of this particular episode will be called. So you're much the wiser at this point of the recording because you clicked on this title. So, negativity as a whole, but specific. We have the catastrophizers, and what's incentivizing people to catastrophize the end of the world, the Revelations text people, and beyond. The Malthusians, the just generally malaise, the general malaise of people that we're losing our society because we're not having any more kids. They're the right side of politics, perhaps. Those sort of people. Many would suggest I'm on the right side of politics. Yes, perhaps. I'm still contributing to increasing our population. I've got two biological daughters at least. So yeah, my factory is still open. I had that was uttered to me just the other day. I'm thinking, factory, right? Yes, produce more kids. Yeah, it's open, but depends on your partners, right? So, also in recent times, I've heard of this particular Latin term, which often gets touted as the eighth deadly sin, as just catastrophizing, being negative. I'm not sure what that word is. If the one of two viewers that will probably view this I'll know what it is, just fill me in. But I heard it recently. What's the source? James Dellingpole on his podcast. So some chick was it him? Was it Dellingpole himself brought her up? Anyway, he's gone all revelations. Usually, when people hit their 40s, especially 50s and beyond, they start not being they're not made of rubber anymore, and they have a catastrophizing negativity built into their physiology. Is it a personality thing? Is it a personality proclivity? I'd say a contributing part. Even the astrologist type people out there um, suggest some personalities are quite negative. I, um, here I'm talking about astrology. For those people that are interested in that part, I'm Aries and I'm naturally upbeat, positive, childish about life. So, is that why I'm going to suggest that we shouldn't be catastrophizing the motivations and the incentives. Why are people incentivized to think doom? The whole Revelations thing, I heard a podcast recently, this UFC fighter talking, not Bezos, Elon Musk is going to put this chip in either your forehead on your right wrist, or fuck. That's he's a young fella, so a lot of these incentives that make us become negative about the world is, I don't blame people that have experienced trauma and abuse, and they're the ones which are more susceptible to having a negative outlook on the world. I haven't had overt abuse or traumas. There's this ACE scale. I think it goes up to 12, or is it 10? I think it's 12, because I'd be approaching 10 and I'm thinking, oh, it doesn't feel like that. But I went through those 12 criteria one day, and I think I got to 7 out of 12, which is not too good. But with all those ACE, adverse childhood experience, so is there a epidemic of high ACE counts leading to people's overt negativity about the world? Is the incentive, the Kinitrology of it all, is it led by adverse childhood experience? I'd say that's a bigger factor, certainly a bigger factor versus the personality proclivity of the astrologer or the big 5 personality traits. I'm not touching Myers-Briggs as bringing out all those different models. So I'd rate that adverse childhood experience is a big contributing factor to negative outlooks on the world. Historically, we've been negative. We're less negative now, even though we are still quite negative as a whole. In the past, it used to be much more negative because, let's face it, the past was much more riddled with childhood abuse versus these days. There is still a lot of childhood abuse, but we've alleviated the graveness of the comparative historical outcomes of childhood experience. So I would rate the ACE, childhood experience, child trauma, as contributing to our overall negative outlook. Some have more negative outlook than others. I am sort of neutral to positive. Even I've gone through stages of I call it prep light, where I've had a bit more food around the place just in case. Probably good practice. Probably good practice to alternate power source, solar generators or battery generators or something. There's people that prep massively, and that's quite expensive and maybe resource misallocation. If the world is getting better, and the way the world is probably getting better is we need some metrics. And which metrics do we use? I may have done an episode where I've referenced some of these metrics, but hey, let's face it, our incentives get narrowed down to specific ideas, which is power, status, reproduction, which is power and status related, and together with our social influences and our health influences and our fitness influences, that sort of thing. That's more of a finding the best mate, the best partner type, or getting plenty of access, sexual access. Yeah. So those people are more positive, those influencer types, and the people that poo-poo the influencer types, which are positive people because, I don't know, they look pretty, they're handsome. Maybe they should not be, well, I guess for the people that participate in only the whole only fans complex, that's because they can. So we've got some freedoms for those people that are a bit more liberal, and the incentive of certain people to be more liberal in that OnlyFans example is because society is still, well, still quite comparatively more free than we've had through our whole history, even though we think that we're in prison with all the taxes and whatnot. So we still have a lot of positivity flowing through different people's veins, a little bit in mine. The whole reference to neutral to positive in my thought, my quick thought. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I am positive. Should I reference again that it's because of my star sign? I shouldn't. I shouldn't, should I? So, and to get the message across, perhaps, is this a promotion to be more positive? We probably need to be. We probably need to be for our own sake and the rest of the world's sake. Because we've had it worse. So if we're more positive, we'll have it even better, even though we think that things are getting worse. Did you know that there's more people that are obese on this globe versus people going hungry? That's not that negative. It is negative for the obese people, but that would indicate that we're becoming wealthier, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. That does indicate that. Environmental and deforestation and all those sort of ideas, where people reference not having kids to save the world and all that sort of thing. I don't know, deforestation, I don't know if it's even happening because some reports suggest Lomberg rings a bell, has indicated 15-20% more, not really forest, but more vegetation. Jordan Peterson once said the whole area of the US, that's how much more vegetation we have on the globe. That's mainly due to active attempts to de-industrialize, returning things back to nature, but also that's also code for we've increased yields, crop yields from the developing countries. That's how that probably balances out. The Amazon is not disappearing anytime soon either. There is some de-incentivizing of opportunistic farming types in Brazil. Is it also Argentina or Chile? But what's the northern countries? Anyway, mainly Brazil. The opportunistic farmers are de-incentivizing them to deforest. Yes, there has been steps. Environment, the whole global climate change thing. There's the people that are worried versus the people that aren't worried side. Okay, I'm not worried. So that would make me on the right side of politics. Um, there are these thoughts that um, the use of particular resources or minerals that go into the making of solar panels and the wind turbines and all that, they're getting more efficient. There's this whole Anderson's law. There's all these different laws with how many months it takes to double the efficiency of stuff. So we've got Moore's law, where chips double their effectiveness every 18 months, and Anderson's law, we double the effectiveness of solar panel sunlight utilization. We double it every 20 months. So at that rate, in 7 years, we won't need coal-powered fire stations. They'll be useless. Don't know. That's it does depend on the uptake of the new high efficacy or high efficiency solar panels. I can't imagine people that have got solar panels on their roof, especially in Australia here. People have their solar panels for years now, and can't see people upgrading even after 40 months. No, they're still going to chug along with their solar um, utilization. So there you go. So it's probably an epidemic, that negativity is not warranted, because historically, comparatively speaking, we have much less to worry about than comparatively in history, with those few examples. Access to energy, comforts of the world. Yes, taxes are way more than, if you incorporate things like your rates, which is your housing taxes, registrations for vehicles, and insurances. If you count all those things, we're probably 3/4 of our income is going into tax, our gross income. So that's quite negative. But it's still quite positive, because we are still generating wealth, albeit in different metrics of health, different metrics of wealth. Where another positive is that overt privation has been reduced drastically in the last 20 and 40 years, because we need something to measure it, and the amount of people that lived on $2 a day has gone down, what is it, something like 90% in the last 20 or 30 years, something like that. Yes, they're still poor comparatively versus all the wealth that's hanging around. And many of those wealthy people, especially the coaching, entrepreneur types, the people that get rich quick schemes, work online, e-commerce, and all that sort of thing. Yeah, there is wealth being generated out there. Not very productive wealth, but there is still wealth happening. Gambling is producing wealth. So yeah, just a few thoughts on negativity, but even not knowing the title of today. Should I work on a title as I'm summing up? Nah, probably botch it even more than I've botched what I'm trying to say today. So I haven't posted in a while, and yes, I'm going to continue as I work out how I'm going to deliver Kinitrology to the world. So thanks for your interest. Hope that's grabbed your attention to perhaps be a bit more positive for the negative types. If you're already positive, go prosper. Okay, until the next time, bye-bye.